Ika stood before Vladis, her mind swirling with conflicting emotions. She knew that teaming up with a vampire king went against everything she thought was good and just everything she had believed in. But as she gazed into Vladis's eyes, she couldn't shake the feeling that he was offering her something she had longed for her entire life: power, protection, and a sense of belonging. Vladis's piercing gaze bore into Ika's soul, his eyes a mesmerizing blend of crimson and gold. "You hesitate, my dear," he remarked, his voice smooth as velvet. "Do you doubt the path you've chosen?" Ika's heart pounded in her chest as she struggled to find the words to articulate her inner turmoil. "It's just difficult," she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've always thought that vampires are evil. That they can't be trusted." A sly smile tugged at the corners of Vladis's lips, revealing a glint of sharpened fangs. "Ah, yes," he mused, his tone tinged with amusement. "The age-old prejudice against my kind. But tell me, my dear Ika, have I not proven myself to be a friend to you? Have I not offered you my protection, my guidance, when no one else would?" Ika's mind raced with memories of the countless times Vladis had come to her aid, shielding her from harm and defeating her foes in the treacherous depths of the underground without needing to be asked or thanked. He was always there. Despite her initial reservations, she couldn't deny that he had shown her a kindness that she had never known before. "You have," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I still don't understand why you've chosen me. Why you would want me as your companion." Vladis's smile widened, revealing his gleaming fangs in all their predatory glory. "Ah, but my dear Ika, you are more than just a mere companion to me," he murmured, his voice low and seductive. "You possess a power within you that you have yet to fully comprehend. With my guidance, you could unlock your true potential, become something greater than you ever thought possible." Ika's breath caught in her throat as she contemplated Vladis's words. Could it be true? Could she truly possess a power that even she was unaware of? The thought filled her with a strange mixture of excitement and apprehension, uncertainty clouding her thoughts like a dense fog. But as she looked into Vladis's eyes, she saw something there that sent a chill down her spine, a hunger, a thirst for power that seemed to know no bounds. And yet, despite the darkness that lurked within him, she couldn't shake the feeling that he held the key to unlocking her destiny, for better or for worse. With a deep breath, Ika squared her shoulders and met Vladis's gaze head-on. "I may not fully understand why you've chosen me, Master Vladis," she said, her voice steady despite the uncertainty that churned within her. "But I trust that you have your reasons. And if you believe that I can become something greater with your guidance, then I will follow you, fight your foes, give my life if it comes to that, wherever this path may lead. I will follow you, but please help me get stronger," she shouted with a tear running down her cheek, not wanting to get hurt anymore by people who had long forgotten and abandoned her. Vladis's eyes gleamed with satisfaction as he listened to Ika's declaration, a twisted smile curling upon his lips. "Ah, my dear Ika," he purred, his voice dripping with honeyed tones. "Your loyalty is commendable, and your desire for strength admirable. Fear not, for I shall grant you the power you seek, and together, we shall rise above those who have wronged us." His words carried a sinister promise, his voice resonating with a chilling certainty. "We shall rip the flesh from bone of all who have wronged us, my little one," he continued, his tone low and menacing. "They shall know the pain they have bestowed upon us, and they shall receive it back tenfold. The world shall drown in its own blood, of that I have no doubt, little one." With each word, the darkness within Vladis seemed to grow, casting a shadow over the chamber as his power pulsed and surged around him. Ika shivered involuntarily, a flicker of apprehension creeping into her heart at the sheer magnitude of Vladis's ambitions. And yet, as she looked upon him, she felt a strange sense of exhilaration, a thrill at the prospect of wielding such power alongside him. As Ika gazed upon Vladis, she was struck by the sheer magnitude of his presence. His form seemed to blur and shift, surrounded by a swirling vortex of darkness that pulsed with an ominous red glow. The air around him crackled with energy, sending shivers down her spine as she felt the raw power emanating from him. With a flourish of his hand, Vladis summoned tendrils of shadow that coiled and writhed around him like living creatures. These tendrils were not mere shadows, they were manifestations of pure malevolence, twisting and turning in the air with an otherworldly grace. Each tendril lashed out with razor-sharp edges that sliced through the very fabric of reality itself. Reality warped and shifted under the onslaught, torn asunder by the sheer force of Vladis's power. The tendrils moved with a terrifying speed and precision, cutting through the darkness with a sinister hiss that sent chills down Aika's spine. As she watched in awe and horror, Vladis's power seemed to reach out and touch the very essence of existence, bending it to his will with a casual flick of his wrist. It was as if he held the keys to the universe itself, his power transcending the boundaries of mortal comprehension. And as Aika stood before him, bathed in the glow of his dark aura, she knew that she was witnessing something truly extraordinary. Vladis was not just a vampire king, he was a god of darkness, a being of unimaginable power, whose very presence threatened to unravel the very fabric of reality itself. "You see, my dear Aika," Vladis intoned, his voice echoing with a dark resonance that seemed to reverberate through the very fabric of reality. "I am not bound by the limitations of mortal flesh. I am darkness incarnate, the embodiment of all that is feared and reviled in this world." As he spoke, Vladis extended his hand towards Aika, offering her a vial filled with his own dark blood. "Drink, my pet," he commanded, his voice low and hypnotic. "Let my power flow through you, fueling your strength and filling you with the essence of darkness itself." With trembling hands, Aika accepted the vial, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. As the cool liquid touched her lips, she felt a surge of energy course through her veins, sending a thrill of ecstasy coursing through her body. But as she drank, she felt a strange sensation wash over her, a heady rush of power and pleasure unlike anything she had ever experienced before. It was as if Vladis's essence was seeping into her very soul, filling her with a dark and intoxicating euphoria. Unable to resist the allure of his blood, Aika drank greedily, her senses overwhelmed by the intoxicating sensation. With each swallow, she felt herself becoming more and more consumed by the darkness, her will bending to Vladis's command as he whispered words of domination and control into her ear. And as she surrendered herself to his power, she knew that she had crossed a line from which there was no return. She was no longer just Aika, the orphan girl from the sewers, she was now something else entirely, a creature of darkness bound to the will of her master, Vladis the Vampire King. As Aika surrendered herself to the overwhelming power of Vladis, she felt something primal awaken within her, a hunger, a thirst that could not be quenched by mere mortal means. With a feral growl, she lunged at Vladis, her teeth sinking deep into his arm as she drank hungrily from his veins. The taste of his blood was intoxicating, sending waves of euphoria coursing through her body as she drank deeply, her hands gripping his arm with a desperate strength. She could feel the darkness swirling around her, Vladis's aura enveloping her like a suffocating shroud as she gave herself over to his power, completely. Vladis chuckled darkly as Aika drank, his twisted smile stretching across his face until his teeth seemed to cover almost every inch of his grin. His laughter echoed through the chamber, a chilling symphony that sent shivers down Aika's spine even as she continued to drink. "Drink up, my little slave," Vladis purred, his voice a sinister melody that danced through the darkness. "Drink until your thirst is quenched, until every last drop of my blood flows through your veins. For when you have consumed all that I offer, you shall be truly mine, body and soul." Vladis's hand gently caressed Aika's head as she drank, his touch sending shivers down her spine as his words echoed in her mind. "You will be mine, and I will be yours, forever," he murmured, his voice a haunting promise that lingered in the darkness. "No one will ever hurt you again, little one. No one would dare to make you cry again. No one." As his fingers traced the contours of her face, Aika felt a strange sense of comfort wash over her, a sense of belonging that she had never known before. Despite the darkness that surrounded them, despite the horrors that lurked in the shadows, she knew that she was safe with Vladis by her side. And so she drank, her thirst insatiable as she consumed every last drop of his blood, her body trembling with newfound power. With each swallow, she could feel herself changing, transforming into something more than human, something more than she had ever dared to dream. And as the last vestiges of Vladis's essence flowed into her, Ika knew that she had become something entirely new, a creature of darkness bound to her master's will, forever and always.